SeatGeek is the official sponsor of the Snake Sports Talk Show, with hundreds of events listed, live concerts, sporting events, and so much more. Go on to SeatGeek.com, enter promo code Snake Sports Talk Show, and save yourself $20 off your first purchase.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been quite a long time since you've heard this voice. But of course, the voice and the best voice in play-by-play broadcasting, this is the Stanley Cup Final, Game 2 in Las Vegas, as Sir Stanley is here, as we are prepared for Game 2 in Las Vegas between the Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights. Appreciate everyone being here today with all of you. Thank you for making us a part of your stop for everything NHL and, of course, the Stanley Cup Final. Jake the Snake Silva here, coming at you live. And boy, do we have a good one showing for you here in Las Vegas. And if you haven't done so already, like, follow, subscribe, share it out with your friends and family. We'd love to get everybody here for you in game time, as we're going to be starting here in just about 10 more minutes here at 4:50. 5 o'clock is when the game will start. That's, of course, when we have the intro, but the actual puck drop will be at 5:15. So when we get to that point, it'll be game on for Game 2 between the Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights. Jake the Snake Silva here, joining you from the Snake Sports Talk Show on the Sports Empire Network, presented by SeatGeek. Well, guys, it has been quite a start for the Stanley Cup Final. As you know, the Vegas Golden Knights, who hold a 1-0 lead against the Florida Panthers. Florida, they're looking to answer back, possibly tie up this series and make it well worth it for, the entirety of the Stanley Cup Final. A low seed against the number 1 seed. It has been quite the talk. We know we're hearing this as well with the NBA Finals between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat. Low seed, high seed. Same similar concept from here, and it just gets bigger and better than that. And so we're going to be breaking down a lot of what we should expect here in Game 2. So Game 1 gave us a lot of energy. The part of it is that Vegas, they were not willing to go down in any way, shape, or form. They were willing to fight back, bounce back, and this was exactly the game plan Bruce Cassidy had preached to his team. And so, in the end, the Golden Knights and the Panthers both had trade-offs from the first 2 periods of the game. But the third period is when things really started to light up. The Golden Knights answered 3 goals in that final period. And Florida, they just couldn't end up getting a hold of it. They kind of got into themselves emotionally, and that is where things started to kind of take a turn for it. But ultimately, it has been a heck of a series. We can't wait for Game 2 tonight in Las Vegas, as Sir Stanley is present here in the city that don't sleep, and the lights are always bright at night, and that is the city of Las Vegas. So grab a chair, pull up, join with us as we're hearing the play-by-play commentary and reactions here on the spot on the Sports Empire Network, presented by SeatGeek. Jake the Snake, your host here. we got a lot, of course, to unload, but we're taking a look at a little summary from Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. And so what we saw out of Saturday's performance from the team, first period of action, Eric Stahl, longtime veteran, scores in his second goal of the postseason, gets Florida on top 1-0, 9:40 in the first period, and it was a wraparound shorthanded goal. Golden Knights looking to answer back, and the best way to do so is the man who has definitely been the juice for the Vegas Golden Knights, Jonathan Marchessault, had answered back, 10th goal of the postseason. He's having himself a case, and the Golden Knights tied it up 1-1 with at least 3 minutes left in the period. And for those of you guys, joining in, shout out to Daniel Barry of Sports Highlights, and shout out to my good friend Dante over there at East Coast Gridiron. Sorry, buddy, but of course, the Golden Knights had to show up on the Stars, but that's where they really showed whose stars was shining brightest in that Western Conference. But still, much respects to a great series that it was. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you guys coming in. So the Golden Knights were up 1-1 going into the second period, and not before defenseman Shea Theodore gives the Golden Knights a 2-1 lead. It was back in fourth, and it was crazy how everything started to go around. So Golden Knights had a 2-1 lead against the Panthers, but right as soon as seconds before was about to really end in the second period, Anthony Duclair, right out of the gate off the faceoff, ties things up 2-2, and we go tied again in the second period. But what a faceoff, what a shot. Duclair really woke up the Golden Knights from there. What's going on, Raymond? Appreciate you coming on by, man. Appreciate you on here. So 2-2 tie. All the way up and going into the third period, and that's when things really started to open up. Zach Whitecloud on the rebound, buries the puck in, 3-2 Vegas as they took a hold of the lead, but they didn't stop there. Mark Stone goes around, scores in, 7th goal of the postseason. He's making a case himself, 4-2. And as soon as penalties were happening left and right, of course, as the Florida Panthers, Matthew Tkachuk was ejected up into the game just about 5 minutes close to the end of the game. And, of course, several Panthers were in the penalty box. 4 minutes on the penalty. That was what was issued to the Panthers. And as soon as the Panthers tried to get the penalty kill, Riley Smith with an open netter, that was the nail in the coffin. Game 1, victorious for the Vegas Golden Knights, 5-2 that they won in Game 1. There was a lot of action, there was a lot of emotion, and there was a lot of energy that was in the building in T-Mobile Arena, but the Vegas Golden Knights sealed the deal. They got the job done. Game 1's in the books. Here we are in Game 2 tonight. So part of this was, of course, is that the team, they never gave up hope. Even at times when, the Panthers were trying to tie it, they would come back and answer back in a massive way. And I think that was what was the biggest pointer and the biggest turnaround for the Golden Knights late in the game into the third period. Once things got going, that's when Zach Whitecloud and company, they all started to really lighten things up for the Golden Knights to win 5-2. So, of course, the 3 stars in that game, Zach Whitecloud, Mark Stone, and Adin Hill. Adin Hill had a bunch of stops, including one that I think is honestly the save of the year. Yeah, Ray, I'm going to be streaming the game here in just a moment, just trying to get the stream feed. Since we're going through pregame right now, just kind of summing up, Game 1. So, of course, game stats for both teams. As you see, the Florida Panthers had one more shot on goal against the Vegas Golden Knights. And so that's where it's 35-34 face-off percentages. The Golden Knights really have excelled in that. And then the power play, Florida was 0 for 3. They were not really working too hard with the power play opportunities. They were 0 for 3 as Vegas was 2 for 7. And, of course, the penalties were really, really starting to go up for them. Penalty minutes, of course, the Golden Knights had 18 while the Florida Panthers had 46. That was one of the things that Paul Maurice, the head coach, talked about in his press conference about the penalty minutes, where they really want to shed up more of the minutes that they can and really start to focus on get the offense right, keep everybody's composure together. And of course, as he said in the press conference, everybody just breathe. Everybody just take a breather. Don't be tight, loosen it up. This is what the recipe of success, hopefully, that Paul Maurice is looking for the Florida Panthers. And so hopefully just breathing, just keeping your composure down, and really just it's been exciting all throughout, the start of this Stanley Cup final and the playoffs all together. So ultimately, all the emotions come up, but the Florida Panthers are meeting an opponent really high-strung, number 1 overall seed, and this is kind of what you're going to get yourself into. So, but at least the good thing of it is they've been showing a lot of physical play, 36 hits over 29, 11 blocks to 16 that the Golden Knights lead in, and then the one big thing is the giveaways. They had at least 13 giveaways, which was less, they definitely want to take more of that down, as the Golden Knights had 14, but the takeaways, the Golden Knights were all over the puck for the Florida Panthers. One of the things that Paul Maurice wants to do is he wants to control the puck as much as possible, get the offense to where they can get themselves in position to really start to make a big change. Where the change will be, we're not so sure, but we know for a fact that games like this, when it's high intensity and when it is really game time and they got to get things going, this is where they will be throughout the entirety of this series. Game 2, getting ready for puck drop, as of course we have the Vegas Golden Knights intro that'll be starting up here in just about a few minutes. You are watching the live play-by-play stream and reactions of Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final, Florida Panthers versus Vegas Golden Knights on the Sports Empire Network, presented by SeatGeek. Be back here in just a moment.
Go yard.
Bitch, I'm a ball, bitch, I'm a ball. Don't get no ball, don't get no ball. What's in my cup? What's in my cup? Full of that punch, nigga that punch. Bitch, I'm a ball, ballin' like Kobe. Ho, keep it moving, cause you do not know me. Bitch, I'm a ball, ballin' like Kobe. Ho, keep it moving, cause you do not know me. Bitch, I'm a ball, can't talk in Milwaukee. Tell my dog sick of me, ain't do no barking. Pass me some greens, you know I'ma spark it. Mama got ass, told her to arch it. Pull up at the spot, hop out and don't park it. Bino say, always keep one in the cartridge. With Joey up pepper, so we going toxic. Came from the swamp to visit the tropics. Check out the scenery. Tell little mama to the backwoods right by the lake. And I had some weed on me. Had to retire my cup, but it still doubled up. So pour out some lean for me. We took an edible, feeling incredible. Fed away into the sheets. Hustle and flow is unique. Easy to
if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Live from Las Vegas, the Snake Sports Talk Show with Jake Silva starts right now.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the live streaming play-by-play of the 2023 Stanley Cup Final. Game 2, Florida Panthers against the Vegas Golden Knights. Appreciate everybody joining in here. The Snake Silva with you tonight for this live stream play-by-play on Sports Empire Network presented by StreamYard. And yes, of course, Jonathan, thank you so much for coming on. This is the streaming of the actual game. So appreciate you making us part of your day tonight. And as we start to see, the Vegas Nightline, they're definitely getting themselves geared up for what seems to be a hell of a game tonight. And we got the Vegas Golden Knights and the Florida Panthers. So looking at this with Sergei Bobrovsky in the final game one, screenshots were at least 11 from the first game, but you see exactly how Sergei Bobrovsky, how he kind of sets himself up into the screen, and he could just see this thing from a mile away, and just tough blocks that Bobrovsky really has been putting on, and you can definitely tell from a couple angles, and what's been good about the Golden Knights, they've been putting a lot of pressure on. And even in this screenshot that Zach Whitecloud put on against Bobrovsky, big-time goal for the Golden Knights that got the 3-2 lead. We expect the Golden Knights to really be aggressive as they were in the previous points, but it has certainly been a big-time battle on all sides. Last time in Game 1, Adin Hill, 35 shots against him, with 33 of those were saved, including the big-time save of the year, of course. But Adin Hill has been continuously growing his story with just a guy who's bounced around in the NHL and has made a case for himself, of course, for the Conn Smythe, but a big-time save, of course, against Nick Cousins, the former Vegas Golden Knight, denied of the goal, and Alex Pietrangelo with a big-time stick to block it and to get it away. What a save. And that is one that's going to go into the history books and into the Stanley Cup final books as well. And a save that even in this very building, when it last had happened, was happened by Braden Holtby. Big-time save from there. Jack Eichel definitely getting all of his time out on the ice as you see a lot of his opportunities trying to get himself to contributing here into the final. But Jack Eichel knows that he's had a little bit of a struggle from the game one, hopes to at least rebound and bounce back, but still had just continued to be a force leading up into the Stanley Cup final. And a lot of these pressures and, of course, a lot of these looks that the Golden Knights have been trying to contribute and at least find, Jack Eichel, it's really important, of course, too, because you're looking at a star-studded player that if he's contested and he's not getting any open looks, that's what's going to be difficult about the Golden Knights. They shut him down, but the rest of them, Jonathan Marchessault, Mark Stone, and several guys have really put themselves up as an X-Men mentality, and that has really worked for this organization moving forward and even into the final itself. And, you know, big-time hopes, of course, but we know where both these teams stand, and we know exactly as to where they want to be at. They want to take Game 2 tonight, but I think the big story here is Matthew Tkachuk versus Nick Hague. Of course, they both had exchanging of words, and Matthew Tkachuk, 14 penalty minutes in Game 1, which was kind of the big, thing throughout that entirety of the playoffs. 38 penalty minutes, 55 hits all throughout the playoffs. He's been kind of like the little rat that a lot of people have been seeming to call him as well, but he's been a threatening force. Nick Hague against the Stars. We know he's had a bunch of big hits, but he's actually been the contributing factor. He got big hits against Max Domi against the Stars. Nick Nurse, he ended up getting involved and started to instigate there against the Oilers in Game 4. So Nick Hague Doesn't matter his size. Doesn't matter exactly, even as a defenseman, he's going to do whatever it takes to protect this team. And even if it's getting into the other team's skin, he's doing exactly the right thing, keeping his composure, not giving up and not jeopardizing anything of what this team is really trying to accomplish. So Nick Hague's really been, the big name for the defense and really just contributing to everything that the Golden Knights need to keep the composure down and keep the momentum on their side. So, but it's massive, especially in a setting like this. But the Panthers know they've got to control the penalty minutes. They got to control everybody's composure. Nobody, and I mean nobody, should honestly be high strung, and especially at least not in the point where the team, they're going to be in this position to where that might be a little bit of a liability. But here's a little bit of an interview with Zach Whitecloud and talking about just the atmosphere, what it has been for being in the playoffs.
It's kind of a full circle thing because you never expected to be there. I'm not sure many people do. I think where I got the passion for the game was just from the outdoor rinks and my parents teaching me growing up and playing with my buddies. And it's just been gratitude the whole way. And I'm lucky that I get to do what I love for a living. Just trying to make my parents proud each year and every day in my community and the people that have kind of, given me pushes along the way, right? So.
You mentioned your community, Zach, and this could be a historic moment, right? Mm-hmm. You could be the first Stanley Cup winner ever from the Sioux Valley Dakota Nation. What does that mean to you?
There's a lot of words to describe that. I think that could be a long conversation too. They've always been supportive of me. They've been encouraging. They've given me resources that I was able to use growing up playing the game to take the burden off my parents. I take a lot of pride in being a role model for people and showing that, with hard work, dedication, and having the people that love you and support you be by your side through this whole journey. I think I just want to be a representation of hard work and just when you love something, go after it. And that, even for a small town kid from Manitoba that was never particularly good at hockey, find a way and do something you love.
Back it comes to the line, scores! Zach Whitecloud!
Talk about your pride, and you mentioned recently about your pride of carrying the Whitecloud name, your grandfather's name. How much do you think about him when here you are, like living out your childhood dream?
It's an honor for me because what my grandfather and generations before went through to still be here and being able to have the last name Whitecloud is something I've taken a lot of pride in and something I've had to learn growing up, that in our language and in our culture, having that last name, you represent the family, you represent everyone that carries that name, and that has a lot of importance.
Boy, definitely a story indeed of Zach Whitecloud, who's really been contributing defensively for the Golden Knights for many, many years to come, and certainly carrying on the Whitecloud name, of course, the Indigenous player in the NHL, and definitely representing for all Indigenous players in this league. And Zach Whitecloud, very humble and very much, just I think a quality player all the way around and making big time stops. So, as we know, intro is coming up already, and once we get past that, puck drop of Game 1 between the Game 2 of the Vegas Golden Knights and the Florida Panthers as the Golden Knights lead 1-0. You're watching the live play-by-play stream of the 2023 Stanley Cup Final, Game 2, Panthers Golden Knights, here on the Sports Empire Network, presented by SeatGeek.
SeatGeek is the official sponsor of the Snake Sports Talk Show, with hundreds of events listed, live concerts, sporting events, and so much more. Go on to SeatGeek.com, enter promo code SnakeSportsTalkShow, and save yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Live from Las Vegas, the Snake Sports Talk Show with Jake Silva starts right now.
We're back in the city that don't sleep, and of course the intro going on as we'll be checking it out from here. Jake the Snake Silva here on the 2023 Stanley Cup Final Game 2 live stream here on Sports Empire Network, presented by StreamYard. Golden Knights getting prepared, and of course the Florida Panthers, they want payback. They want to tie this series up before going back to South Beach. And the Vegas Golden Knights, of course, love to keep the momentum on their side. And even in a most anticipated T-Mobile Arena that very much intimidates a lot of their opponents. And so, here they come, the Vegas Golden Knights. What's going on, Kyle? Good to have you up on here, buddy.
The two core human emotions, love and
So the starting lineup, of course, coming up for the Vegas Golden Knights as they are welcomed onto the ice here in T-Mobile Arena. And so looking at everybody here in the festivities, of course, there was a wedding that was going on outside T-Mobile Arena in the Toshiba Plaza. But of course, what happens up in Vegas always stays in Vegas. But of course, the lasting love will always stay forever for both these lovebirds. And there's the story man himself behind net, Aiden Hill. And we are ready and underway soon. As, of course, the ceremonial national anthem. Well, you know what that sound is. And joining us, as of course, Vegas' own Clint Holmes will be joining in, ringing the bell, and getting Game 2 underway. All right, well, the bell has been rung, and time to start Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final, Panthers and the Golden Knights. And this is going to be quite the interesting game, of course. High emotions on both ends as the Panthers look to redeem themselves after dropping 5-2 against the Golden Knights in Game 1, and hopefully to send this series back home in Florida, tied up at 1 apiece. Face-off is now underway, and so are we here on Sports Empire Network, presented by SeatGeek. Game 2 of the 2023 Stanley Cup Final. And looking at all the lineups here for both the Golden Knights and the Panthers, and this will be icing, and a face-off will be coming here in just a moment. But Paul Maurice definitely touched upon, slowing this team down a little bit, everybody just calming down and breathing. We know that the emotions got very, very high. And, of course, Matthew Tkachuk, who was ejected in the game in that time around, they definitely want to change that up and change the narrative from there. And now the Golden Knights win the face-off here in center ice, and it'll be up on the Panthers zone. And so here we go. There's a little bit of some physical pushing as Ivan Barbashev there with Aaron Ekblad. Now coming in is Brayden McNabb and Alexander Barkov, the captain, out on the ice. And a little bit more movement. Anthony Duclair into the Vegas zone and try to get a shot through, but would not get it through. And now Golden Knights getting possession, but of course the puck bouncing around. And Barkov trying to instigate there and won't do. And now this will ricochet back to the Panthers zone. Marchessault putting on a little more pressure as the puck goes all the way to center ice and now back to Vegas. Aiden Hill, small pass and try to get a little hit there. Get things going. Now here's Chandler Stevenson moving forward. Moving shot, and that one's blocked up by Bobrovsky. This one trying to get an opportunity and won't go. So Zach Whitecloud, who tried to get that one going. Now here's Nick Hague. Trying to get at least a shooting lane. Hague again up top, and that one's blocked down. And the Panthers will push this one out. And trying to get possession. Ratko Gudas. And push this one out and back to the Vegas zone is Alec Martinez. 2 shots for the Golden Knights to start here in Game 2. And now this one will go all the way around the ice. 18-10 here in the first period. And this one a little more shoving going on. Tkachuk try to get the puck through and misses. Now here's Martinez and another pass and a shot. That one was contested up front. And nowhere near on the goal. Mark Stahl. Round to Montour. Now here's Riley Smith trying to get the shot and could not control it, as that was William Karlsson there on the opportunity and couldn't get it. Grady gets that one through and Tkachuk is shoved, and of course the physical game has not stopped for both these teams. A shot through, and that one is pushed away, and now Tkachuk got possession. There's Anton Forsling. That puck gets bounced away, and now Forsling out there with Aaron Ekblad. So 2 shots already for Vegas to start this game. Still have yet to get a shot for Florida. This one goes all the way around the board, but there'll be a whistle blown here as time has stopped. So Bruce Cassidy knows that the Florida Panthers are coming in with a lot of aggression, and they're wanting to get this game started in a big way, but last couple shots there from the Golden Knights, they've been trying to get something through, so the aggression on the Knights' end has still stayed the same after Game 1, and Paul Maurice really has to get the Panthers to answer back in a big way. Vegas wins the face-off on the draw, and now 17 minutes left to go in the first period. For those of you who are joining in, thank you for coming in. Shot way left out there, and now it'll be out of play and another face-off. So it's a big-time stop there. And the puck ends up going outside of the ice. And 16:57, as that one was way left and couldn't quite get the shot right through on net. And a little bit of a delay there on the streaming, but hopefully we can get the feed back as soon as possible. And there we go, Radko Gudas. So this one here, Radko Gudas, who's definitely been showing off the physical game tonight. Sam Reinhart tried to get a shot through, and a great block from Nick Hague. As the stream kind of hold him. We'll try to see if we can at least get the stream back up online.
And then the turnover in Reinhart. This is just a good defensive play by Hague.
All right, we're having a little bit of stream trouble, but let's go ahead and see if we can get the feedback here in this one. All right, and we are back in live. So face-off is won by Florida. Trying to get the puck all the way through, and now stopped by Aiden Hill. 16:52 left to go in the period. But Vegas really did dominate late, big time in game one. The third period really opened it up. But the Panthers, they definitely want to answer back, and they knew that the last few times that they've gotten opportunities through, it had not gone their way. Florida wins the draw again, and now a stall shot, and that one's far wide right, and good opportunity, but just couldn't bury it through. This puck goes all the way back to Florida's zone. On tour, and Stahl. Now Montour all the way around and trying to get control, and now a face-off there. It looked offside. 16:30. So this one was the bank pass right here by Brandon Montour, but what a great stick there by Shea Theodore to block that one and shut down that opportunity. But it looked like Sam Reinhart tried to get his stick on the deflection, but instead it took a different route. Face-off draw as Florida wins it again. Now back into the Vegas zone. Pietrangelo tries to push this one out to Barbashev, and here's Ekblad to Claire along with Barkov, and a good pass from Marchessault. Here comes a pass and a one-timer there, and tries to get one, but instead lets the puck go around the boards. There's a shot, and that one is wide left. And there's a stick right up in front of the ice, and that was Barkov, and they tried to get another opportunity, and now here we go, a one-timer. This time for Verhaeghe, and he stopped it. What a stop by Aiden Hill. And Verhaeghe, who had the opportunity on a one-timer, what a stop by Aiden Hill. And this was where the defense really, gave this one up, and Verhaeghe, who came around with the one-timer, Aiden Hill shuts him down and couldn't get the puck right past the net. Well, Avery, we're definitely rooting for the Vegas Golden Knights here in my hometown in Las Vegas. And so face-off here in the Vegas zone. Harrelson and Nick Cousins up front. Cousins, the former Vegas Golden Knight, who was a part of that one trade that sent him to Vegas, and since then bounced around a couple of spots until he got to Florida. Face-off draw won by Florida. Another shot, and that one is a good block by Hill right on the leg. And the puck going away, and now icing as play stops at 15:39. And Aiden Hill definitely feeling those tensions right now, but has kept his composure great and has not been feeling shook up any way shape, or form all throughout this entirety of the postseason. And ever since he had taken over when Laurent Brossoit went down on that injury in that first game against Edmonton. And now face-off, Florida ends up winning it. And it goes up to center ice and now all the way to Florida's end. And trying to get possession of the puck. Florida gets it. And a good pass and a good knockdown there by Michael Amadio. And now he is taken down. Almost looked like what looked to be a tripping call, but he was taken down and spun around. I don't know if we'll even get that call. I don't think we will. So it looked like it was a clean hit from that angle. Now here's Smith on a one-timer, and that one is out of play. Time is stalled. And now we got more pushing and shoving around. But, boy, that was a big hit right there. But Michael Amadio tried to come around and stops the puck and keeping it in the zone. But Sam Bennett, wow, what a big hit on Amadio. And Sam Bennett in this postseason, 4 goals, 7 assists, 58 shots, and 66 hits that he's had all throughout it. But he has certainly brought the physical game, and even when times when there were one-timers and opportunities, he's taken advantage of it. And face-off one there, and now the stream, of course, taken out. We'll have the stream back online here in just a moment. Yeah, I can't stand it when the stream ends up going down, guys. All right, come on. All right, so that face-off there. Here comes Martinez. This one bounced around, trying to sneak that one through, and he wouldn't get it past the net. And a good clean clear out by Reinhart. And this one going all the way around the boards for Aggie. Had to try to get possession of it. Now the puck's bouncing around. And now big-time hits as Vegas got it into the Florida zone, trying to get the offense going, and now Florida squeezes this one out. And puck possession back to Vegas. Barbashev dumps it out, and now we got a delayed penalty here. And it looks like there is a lot of commotion that's going on here between Vegas and Florida. 13:21 left to go here in the first period, and already. So he got hit hard by Barbashev, and now we're taking a look to see what happened all from here. And so this was it. And Jonathan Marchessault, yep, looks like a clean. Looks exactly like that. And then Radko Gudas with a big-time hit from Ivan Barbashev, and we've got a penalty there. 13:21 left to go here into the first period. Lots of action, and we will be back here on the Stanley Cup Final Game 2 on Sports Empire Network. here, there was definitely some big-time hits, and Ivan Barbashev answered back on Radko Gudas. And so the Vegas Golden Knights now have the power play. So Paul Maurice, who looked at the big-time hit, and the Vegas Golden Knights will be a man up, with Florida a man down and trying to kill out this penalty. 71% penalty kill for Florida and 19% for the Golden Knights on power plays as their power play unit looks to try to get Vegas on the board first. There's a shot. That one blocked away by Bobrovsky. Minute and 40 left to go on this power play. There's a shot. Marchessault scores! And it is Jonathan Marchessault again for the Vegas Golden Knights with his 11th goal in the postseason. Vegas is up on top 1-0. Boy, that power play unit really has been staying on fire for the Golden Knights. And that penalty kill so far for the Florida Panthers has not been working well, but taking a look at it again, Marchessault putting the team on his back, another shot, another goal, and the Golden Knights are up on top 1-0. Wow. What a shot it was. 12:55 left to go in the first period, and now Florida's got to find a way to answer back. 5 shots, including one that went right behind net. 11th goal of the season for Jonathan Marchessault, came on the power play. Assist by Chandler Stevenson and Jack Eichel. And so this one goes all the way around back to the Florida side. And, of course, so play stopped. Looks like an icing, and it'll be a face-off on the Vegas zone. But Jonathan Marchessault, he had talked about a while back about playing against his former team, the Florida Panthers, who, of course, that was his last team he played for before the expansion draft, and what it really meant to play against his former team and just the experience behind it itself. But he has really found himself a home here in Vegas for 6 years already in this organization, and has come up in a big way, even in the playoffs, and has continued to just be the threatening force that the Golden Knights know they need. So stream cut out once again. We'll try to get ourselves back to the stream. But boy, what a one-timer there by Jonathan Marchessault, and continuing to just put the team on his back, as he's been the heart and soul of this franchise. And so back here on the Florida end, 12 minutes left to go here in the first period. 6 shots for Vegas, 3 for Florida. And this one, Keegan Colasar, he's hit up by Eric Ekblad. And Will Carrier trying to get this up and around here on the back ends. Cousins back to Ekblad. Spinning this one around. Aaron Ekblad trying to find somebody there to get Florida up onto the offensive zone as that puck is now turned away, and Vegas will head to the Florida side. Carlson went around. And Berge. Casey Fitzgerald out there on the ice. A one-timer shot. That one's blocked up, and it was hit by one of the Florida players. So a good block there from the Panthers. Another shot. That one turned away and just wide left. And a good block. And Carlson all up and around as Riley Smith there with them. Anthony Duclair. And now a little bit of a hit from Sam Reinhart. Now puck moving in quick, trying to cross it up and couldn't do it. And now here comes Fitzgerald. That one is away. And so Riley Smith dumps this one up into the Florida zone. Another former Florida Panther as well who went into that compensation of the expansion draft along with Jonathan Marchessault. As we're here on the Vegas zone, Theodore getting this around, and now Montour shoves down. Looked like Mark Stone there. And nope, it's Brett Howden out there on the ice. Howden, that one comes off his stick, and this one, icing will be waved away, and try to get a hit on Brandon Montour, but just misses on the board. 10 minutes left to go here into the first period. 1-0 Vegas Golden Knights. Brady McNabb with the puck, crossing it over to center ice and going in, and now crashing into the net and trying to get a one-timer there. Couldn't be successful. And now spinning it all around. Vegas, here comes Marchessault around. Couldn't get the shot as that one was turned away. Now Eric Stahl passes this one over toward the left side. And puck staying up on center ice. Vegas has to clear and tries to go again. And now Marchessault, a good pass. Trying to clear it there on the line, and more physical play as pushing and shoving has just been happening left and right. Now here's Ekblad. Up to Tkachuk. They're up on the Vegas zone, trying to get the offense going. And Tkachuk is heavily contested by Jack Eichel, and what a pressurizing move there by Eichel. Couldn't get Tkachuk get any breathing room to get the offense going. Up on the corners and tried to get a pass through and couldn't do it. Now here's Montour with a long shot. That one was hit off a player. 83 miles an hour. Holy cow, that one was definitely streaming. Now here's Duclair onto the right side. Reinhart with a shot, and that one's away. Verhaeghe, that was 80 miles an hour on the shot. Here comes Smith. Dumps this one up and around. Nick Waugh up to receive it as he's met by Verhaeghe and Anton Forsling. Offensive zone possessions. Of course, the Golden Knights had 3:15 on it, and Panthers had just about 2. This one they try to dump in, but Anton Forsling will go and interrupt. Now Reinhart couldn't get possession. Vegas will get it back. They're in the center ice, and they'll dump it up and around. And Florida regrouping. So Reinhart getting the pass through. Theodore coming around. Tries to get the pass. Now we're back up to center ice, and here we go on the offensive zone. Loses the puck as that one was poke checked, and now here come 3-on-2 here on Florida. That one blocked away, and there was a bunch of ice that was thrown right into Aiden Hill's face. And what a stop by the Golden Knights with that potential 3-on-2 that Florida tried to get the offense there and get the puck through the net. That one rejected and goes right back to the Vegas zone. Nick Hague met up by Tkachuk. And the last few times those two have been going at it in game one, Tkachuk got tossed with 5 minutes left to go in the final period as Vegas won 5-2. Now here's Stevenson. Tries to clear it up, get some open space. Stevenson, fast skater, comes around and makes a shot and blocked up by Bobrovsky. And now Ekblad with possession and gets it over to Tkachuk. And up and around, a one-timer, way wide right. Couldn't get it. And now that puck will be squeezed out, and Ivan Barbashev will have possession. Now this one poked away. Nick Cousins keeping this in, and we'll dump it around through the back end. And Stahl and Tkachuk there, and now Barbashev will get possession again. About 6:30 left to go into the first period. Bobrovsky now has finally stopped play. Boy, that carried on for a long amount of time. But Florida will be taking a timeout. And, of course, a 1-0 lead for the Vegas Golden Knights. All credit to Jonathan Marchessault. 6:35 left to go into the first period of play. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs for the Stanley Cup final, Game 2 on the Sports Empire Network.
I'm on top.
Yo,
Yeah.
no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final has been nothing but exciting. And Jonathan Marchessault, 11th goal of the postseason, 7-game point streak, tied for the longest in Vegas Golden Knights history. 9 shots on Vegas's end with 3 on Florida. Now here we go with Vegas on the Florida side. That shot is blocked up 89 miles an hour by Shea Theodore's stick. And Anton Forsling got a little physical up front there on the board. Now here comes Marchessault, trying to keep possession, but poke checks happening left and right. And now he might be hit. And, yep, there's going to be whistles blown everywhere. Time stops at 6:07. And now we got Vegas back on the power play. But it looked a lot like Anthony Duclair and 2 others. Here was Marchessault trying to get control of it, couldn't get control. And right there, Anton Forsling and it looked like Brandon Montour and Anthony Duclair both on big-time hits. And now Montour will be there for roughing. So another Vegas power play again, and Paul Maurice is not having it. Didn't like the call there in this one, and certainly didn't like the calls from game 1, and he is certainly pissed. But definitely that roughing, if it wasn't for that elbow, that would have changed the narrative. Golden Knights 1 for 1 on the power play tonight. 2 minutes here for roughing on Brandon Montour, and now losing the stick after winning the possession. Golden Knights are 8-0 record when scoring a power play goal in the playoffs. So they have not lost a game since then. There's Marchessault backing around. Good block by Ekblad. Eichel up and around. Now here's Stevenson, and he couldn't get the pass through as he looked for Mark Stone up front. And now the puck will clear and go all the way back to the Vegas end, and they will try again on the offense. Shea Theodore getting this one back around. Here's Pietrangelo. Eichel back in. And now that one, possession for Florida, clears it away. So Florida, this would be a big-time penalty kill for them. And they got to settle down, take a breather, and this is what we talked about. It's a high-end atmosphere to really be getting high emotions. 45 seconds left to go here on this power play for Vegas. Went up and around. Carlson there. Now Carlson with possession. Passes it right back over. Pietrangelo tried to get across and couldn't do it. And tried to find Barbashev. Now here's Carlson. Trying to find an opening and couldn't squeeze it through as trying to find Nick Waugh. And now it's pushed out. 20 seconds left of the power play. And now this one, time is stopped. 16 seconds, I should say, on the power play. And now a hooking call, and it's going to be 4-on-4. So Florida, after 16 seconds, will have the power play, and that's called on Nick Wall. So right from there, yeah, they thought it would have been a slash call, but instead it came out as a hooking. So 4:22 left to go in the first period. 4-on-4 with 16 seconds left. What's going on, Dustin? Glad to have you on here, my friend. Shout out to you. Like we said before, folks, if you're just tuning in, thank you so much for making us a part of your night here on the Stanley Cup Final Game 2. Like, follow, share, and subscribe. We really do appreciate everybody here on the stream and hanging out with us. And a shot there by Tkachuk, and that one is wide away. Now Stevenson. 4-on-4 is about to end, and now Florida, it'll be their power play here. So power play, 26% for Florida and 65% for the Golden Knights on the penalty kill. 4 shots on goal for Vegas and 4 for Florida. So now would be a good time to get the offense going. Reinhart getting it around, and that's Bennett. Up to Tkachuk. Tkachuk moving in, trying to creep in slowly. Now here's Montour up to Captain Alexander Barkov. Back to Montour. Up here toward Ekblad. Here's Barkov. That one's off. And this one right up in front, and they rejected it. And again, it goes away from the net. What a big stop there by Adin Hill. Offense could not get that one through. And they'll try it again here on the power play. 50 seconds left. This one, Tkachuk trying to get it around and can't do it as Reinhart and Bennett were trying to contest it up front. And Montour, one time and a big stop as that one was 85 miles an hour on the shot, and that is rejected by Adin Hill. Boy, oh boy. The power plays already in the last 4 games for Florida have been 4 of 14. They have not been as successful, but they certainly have been looking for a bunch of opportunities all throughout the opportunity. And now for Hagee, a one-timer. That one's blocked away by Hill. And a tip in 10 seconds, and we could potentially see this be killed by the Golden Knights. And they will, so they will be back to full strength here on the Florida end. And now here comes Nick Waugh. 5 shots in the last power play. And now they've gotten up to 8 shots on goal. Here come the Golden Knights, and Jack Eichel speeding through center ice. Here comes Barbashev trying to pass it, and that one tucked away by Duclair. Here's a good pass. Try to get it. Martinez scores! Alec Martinez with a one-timer on the side right from where Bobrovsky couldn't find it, and that is buried for the Golden Knights, and now it's 2-0. Boy, this one, Barkov really got that one through, but instead it was rejected by Adin Hill, but the rebound was so close onto the left side, and Tkachuk gets thrown right into the net, and pushing him out, loses his stick in the process, and now Tkachuk, of course, really being the rat and stirring things up. But here it was for Vegas on this goal. Alec Martinez got control and a quick slap, and he got it right up, bar down against Bobrovsky. What a shot. We've seen that narrative before, and a shot like that gave the LA Kings the Stanley Cup in a game winner against the New York Rangers. And Paul Maurice, of course, not really fond of that call. Now that shot wide around. And so the first one of the postseason for Alec Martinez. 11 shots on goal. And we got 130 left to go into the first period. What a lot of action that this was here in the first period of play. Now here comes that one, almost tucked in, but Bobrovsky ends up rejecting it. Here we go again. One-timer shot, and that one is way off. Golden Knights aggressive on offense as they have been throughout this postseason, and they're doing it again here in Game 2 after a big-time game winner in Game 1. 1 minute left to go here into the period. Ivan Barbashev, of course, on the assist from Alec Martinez. Here's another pass. Stone tried to get it back, but instead, player was shoved down on the ground, up onto the ice. And Florida gaining up possession. We're losing a little bit of the stream, and of course, everybody all excited after Alec Martinez scored the goal from there. Yeah, that one, Stevenson got tripped up here in that play and just couldn't get possession. So we'll get the stream back here in just a moment. Yeah, what a goal by Alec Martinez. And he had almost lost possession of that puck. And if it wasn't for him getting itself back to where he wanted to be, that would have been bad news written all over. And it could have been easily that turnover. But instead, Alec Martinez got the puck, buries it, bar down, and it's 2-0 Golden Knights here with 48 seconds left of the period. So the Golden Knights. And so now that will end things here in the first period as we go to first intermission. Vegas Golden Knights with a commanding 2-0 lead over the Florida Panthers. And man, oh man, Paul Maurice is definitely going to be having quite the discussion for all the Panther players for sure. Because, I mean, that one was just very, very energetic, very high-strung. What a game, though. Unbelievable that they've really have that they really just let that one kind of blow through. But what a job by the Vegas Golden Knights all throughout it. And they've got a 2-0 lead here against the Florida Panthers. So, first period does come to an end. And we'll take a look here on the game center here up on NHL. So the Golden Knights with 2 goals against 0 for the Florida Panthers. Oh, I know, John. Could you imagine that? A sweep big time? Oh, it would have been insane. But 2-0 the Vegas Golden Knights. 11 shots on goal, of course. Trying to get the trying to get the stats here as I was really interrupted. All right, here we go. All right, so yeah, shots on goal. Vegas had 11 with Florida at 10. Power play units, Florida 0 for 1. Vegas, who had 2 opportunities, buries one of them. That was Jonathan Marchessault, who had scored on that opening play there on the power play. So 50% up on that for the Vegas Golden Knights. 4 minutes in the penalty box for the Florida Panthers. 2 minutes for the Golden Knights. Face-off wins. Vegas continues to be victorious on the face-off draws. And 9 shots blocked with 7 on the Florida Panthers. 8 takeaways for the Golden Knights, and only one of them that the Florida Panthers had gotten. But the Golden Knights have been playing physical. They've been playing energetic, and 8 takeaways has been the big-time story. But 19 hits from the Panthers and 8 for the Golden Knights. More hits, yet more giveaways for the Florida Panthers all throughout it. And so this has definitely been a bit, one of those things where it's very high in emotion. Florida really just has to calm themselves down. This is what Paul Maurice was talking about initially after the loss in Game 1 and what it means that they got to do better in Game 2. And so, unfortunately, doesn't seem to be the case and really kind of seem to be the narrative right now for the Florida Panthers as they're looking to try to at least get a get some sort of solution going on here for them moving forward. But first intermission, of course, is underway, and the intermission report presented by Geek, of course. And if you haven't done so already, especially if you're trying to get your seat into the Stanley Cup final, whether it be in Vegas, whether it be in Florida, or concerts that are up and around the corner. I know I'm going to be going to a few concerts, but I couldn't find my seats without the help of SeatGeek. They've got hundreds of different events that are happening and going on all around, from sporting events, live concerts, comedy shows, and so much more. And when you do use SeatGeek, use promo code SNAKESPORTS to get $20 off of your first purchase of your ticket when you go to checkout. Go to SeatGeek.com. Don't lose your seat. SeatGeek's got you covered. That's SeatGeek.com using promo code SNAKESPORTS. So intermission, of course, underway. Jonathan Marchessault was definitely roughed up in the last few times, but we saw right there on that elbow that caused that power play penalty, and Paul Maurice was definitely lit up at the officials. And the only thing of it is that there's been 19 hits from the Florida Panthers. They really haven't been focusing mostly on their offense. The offense seems a little dry, but the Golden Knights, they've been fighting with brute force. They've been really, really good on their puck passing and their control, and that's what's really been the topic right now for the Golden Knights going into the first intermission. So Jonathan Marchessault with a power play goal, and then Alec Martinez answered back with it. It's 2-0. But Vegas is right now, they've got their foot on the gas pedal. They haven't taken it off at all throughout the postseason and all the way up to Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. So it has really been all about, you got to regain control. You got to be able to make the plays that that matter in these situations, because 4 minutes of penalty time, they're continuing to add on to their penalties at 19 hits, and then not to mention, too, they haven't gotten so many giveaways, but one takeaway out of all those possessions, but Vegas has been taking away 8 of them from the Florida Panthers. So this is going to be one of those things that I'm sure Paul Maurice is really going to have to address to this team in the locker room. But, I mean, this is big. This is definitely big. Florida's not finding their composure. I'm sure they're going to have to slow at least a little bit of that down. But, ultimately, it's all been Vegas up to this point. Stevenson had some good looks. Jonathan Marchessault himself, and Jack Eichel, who had been trying to get himself into this Stanley Cup final, and then Alec Martinez coming away with that goal. So there's been a bunch of guys that have been contributing in every possession that Vegas has been taking advantage of, and it's been really showing with a 2-0 lead. But Radko Gudas, we really got to see from here all these big-time hits, but Barbashev really gave it to Gudas and got shook up big time. But this is kind of the narrative that was talked about with the Florida Panthers, is with them being the second wild card team, they hadn't faced off against somebody who really acclimates to their physical play, and not to mention, too, are much more aggressive offensively. We saw this last year with the Colorado Avalanche, where they were stacked up on offense, the speed, the hyper-aggressive offense, and, of course, they've been matching up to so much contention that the Tampa Bay Lightning had been giving them in last year's Stanley Cup Final. So this has definitely looked like Vegas has had so much control in this. They've been stuck up on it. They've been keeping up with the narrative. But as you see here, Kyle Okposo, as the Sabres captain, signed a 1-year extension here in May. And so he's up and in the building here in Vegas and talking a lot about just what needs to happen better for the Panthers and what seems to be going right for the Vegas Golden Knights. But first intermission is up here soon, and we are just about a few minutes away from puck drop of the second period. Vegas Golden Knights leading it here 2-0 as we come back here on the Sports Empire Network, presented by SeatGeek.
Nate Go-Yard.
Bitch, I'm a ball, bitch, I'm a ball. Don't get no fuck, don't get no ball. What's in my cup? What's in my cup? Full of that punch, look at that punch. Bitch, I'm a ball, ballin' like Kobe. Ho, keep it moving, cause you do not know me. Bitch, I'm a ball, ballin' like Kobe. Ho, keep it moving, cause you do not know me. Bitch, I'm a ball, can't talk in Milwaukee. Tell my dog sick of me, ain't do no barking. Pass me some greens, you know I'ma spark it. Mama got ass, told her to arch it. Pull up at the spot, hop out and don't park it. Bino say, always keep one in the cartridge. With Joey up pepper, so we going toxic. Came from the swamp to visit the tropics. Check out the scenery. Put little mama to the backwoods right by the lake. And I had some weed on me. Had to retire my cup, but it still doubled up. So pour out some lean for me. We took an edible, feeling incredible. Fed away into the sheets. Hustle and flow as you need. Easy to see.
All right, folks. Well, we are back here for the second period of play between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Florida Panthers as intermission has ended. And now the second period will begin. So already the face-off starting, and here we go onto the Florida end. They had scored 5 consecutive goals all throughout it. Sorry, having to adjust it here, guys. There we go. And so 19 minutes already here into the first period of play, into the second period of play. And Jason Verhage coming around into the Vegas zone. And now Stone getting possession, gets it around, and Anton Forsling ends up intervening. And now here is Anthony Duclair getting it around the boards. Comes around, Florida on the offensive end. Hadn't seen them in a while and try to get a wraparound as that was Brandon Montour, and he misses it. And a good stop by Aiden Hill. And now Barbashev tried to get the puck through after a good pass from Mark Stone. Now Florida getting possession and moving on towards center ice. And Kachuk will chuck this one into the Vegas zone. McNabb coming around. Cousins trying to see him there and make a hit. And Bennett up Cousins. And this one, a one-timer shot, and that one's blocked. And comes off that end glass. And now Vegas getting possession onto the offensive zone. Eichel with the puck. Trying to get it around and couldn't get it to his defenseman as that's Brady McNabb there. It's it over to Shea Theodore. Stick is in and cleared, and now here's Mark Gisso trying to creep on in. Gets a back pass, and that one's tipped away. And Aaron Ekblad had a touch on that one, and now Nick Hague going back over. Colin White goes to see him, and Zach Whitecloud will dump this out. Now Eric Stahl trying to get it to Colin White. That one bounced out, and now Vegas with possession. Hague, he's met up and shoves down one of the Panther players. And now another shove there from Vegas. Brings it back, 17 minutes to go here into the second period. Casey Fitzgerald into the game. Came in as the other defenseman here on the Florida roster. And now here is Waugh, and that one score! It's Nick Waugh in for a 3-0 Vegas lead. And 17 minutes on the period. And Nick Waugh answers himself here in the Stanley Cup. Now it's 3-0. And make that 6 consecutive goals for the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, this was one that the fourth line that they talked about still staying hot as Nick Waugh gets it right there up on that one-timer. And Will Carrier, who's there with him, and Keegan Colasar. But right from there, the reaction, that one bounced off the pole on the inside and just gets past Sergei Bobrovsky. And Vegas up 3-0. Waugh with his second goal of the postseason. Comes in, Will Carrier and Zach Whitecloud are responsible on the assist. And now time has been called. Casey Fitzgerald, who was really trying to set it up on one area, but Fitzgerald couldn't quite contest it enough. And so Vegas gets another goal behind net. But the defense right now for Florida has really been shredded like Swiss cheese here in at least the first 2 games of this series. And this one sent into the Vegas zone, and Aiden Hill will go ahead and cover and stop play. But right now, Sergei Bobrovsky is really just kind of feeling the heat against the Vegas Golden Knights, and Florida's offense just has not been able to produce anything. And this is what Paul Maurice right now is just kind of seeing. 13 shots on goal for Florida and at least 12 for Vegas. And the backup goaltender, as you see, well rested, 13-0 when scoring 3+ goals here in the playoffs. This one shot in. This one will be gloved by Aiden Hill. So Florida really just has to get control of their composure in every way possible because offense is not going. Defense right now has been kind of missing a lot of their opportunities and missed calls themselves. So not a whole lot of communication on either end. And so that's where they really have to start to get down to the nitty-gritty and hopefully get themselves back into this series. But right now it's been all Vegas commanding right now. And this one, Stevenson gets possession. Now a 2-on-1 maybe, and the pass goes wide. Chandler Stevenson with Brett Howden there. And that one bounces away, and Florida gets possession, and the puck will go right back into the Florida end. Anton Forsling goes across there, and Tkachuk, and now Sam Bennett with the puck, and he's shoved down by Jack Eichel. And a good physical play there is Zach Whitecloud and Mark Stone there. Now here is Verhaeghe right up in front. And now another shot, and that one is blocked away. And Vegas will take possession as it's Ivan Barbashev moving forward. Here comes Barbashev. Heavily contested, trying to get it himself. And instead he's made contact with the net as he slips. And what a nice movement of moving the chains there by Ivan Barbashev. As you saw, he got past Aaron Ekblad and got past Verhaeghe there, but instead collides right there in the net and try to at least get his skates to stop and at least make the play. 15:36 left to go into the second period of play here in Game 2. But, man, oh, man. Oh, don't tell me we lost it here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it became a separate tab. Here we go. So, they win the draw here for Florida. And now Ekblad getting it up and around on their own zone, trying to get it away. And this puck just shovels up over the head of one of the Panther players, and now this one getting possession for Vegas, but this one goes way out and heads back to their zone, and Vegas trying to regroup. Now here's Barkov. He's got possession, but that is stuck away there by Alex Pietrangelo. Now here's Eichel moving down the ice, along with Mark Stone, or Jonathan Marchessault. Casey Fitzgerald, he's moving himself down and goes to center ice, and they'll dump it here in the Vegas zone. Arkov and tried to get possession from the skate to the stick and was unsuccessful. And the puck bouncing around, and it gets cleared. And now Mark Stahl. So Mark and Eric Stahl, of course, playing on the same group with the Florida Panthers. And quite the moment for both of them. And now this one poked away. That was Riley Smith in the middle of it. And now Montour will go right here back with it. Trying to, at the very least, get some sort of positivity in this situation right now for Florida. Something going. 14 minutes left to go into the second period. And now Vegas, another one-timer. That's blocked away by Bobrovsky. Now Whitecloud around for Keegan Colasar. Up onto the corner. He's contested. Nick Waugh was trying to get there. Now Eric Stahl comes around, and the puck just gets past Nick Hague. And Tkachuk trying to go and get it. And now Whitecloud has possession, goes all the way around as it did hit the stick and clear, and now Florida with possession on their own zone. Sam Bennett, a good move. Passes it on toward Forsling. And now up into the corner for Hagee again. Sam Bennett coming back around to retrieve it. Now a shot. That one by Montour as that one was tucked away. Aiden Hill with what a stop. Wow, right back the other way, and he tucks his body in, and it doesn't end up going in. It bounces out on the corner. And now a stick is broken there, and now here comes Vegas. On their offensive zone, a good spot. Score! What a move! And Brett Howden has given the Golden Knights a 4-0 lead with 12:50 to go. Holy smokes, he was coming out of the cannon on it. A beautiful passing opportunity, and it has just been all Vegas tonight. But you saw right here, Aiden Hill really contested it, and a great save off the glove. What a stop there. But Mark Stone, once he saw it, him and Chandler Stevenson, they were circling around, and then Mark Stone, his stick got broken. So they come around. Brett Howden gets it right to Chandler Stevenson, and Mark Stone, who just saw Howden just kind of coming in and crashing in. And what a flip, and what a shot there by Brett Howden. And now Lyon is coming in to relieve Sergei Bobrovsky. Well, what about that? So Sergei Bobrovsky, this was not his night tonight. And now, as you see everybody all there, Roberto Luongo, the former Florida Panther goaltender, and of course, who's been in the Stanley Cup final with the Vancouver Canucks. Just watching this battle right there as Brett Howden sneaks this puppy in. Yep, Brandon Montour gets shoved, and Stone, who came in with a new stick, gets the pass, gets the big-time assist, and it's a 4-0 Vegas Golden Knights lead. And so Brett Howden with the goal, Stone and Stevenson with the assist, and time is stopped at 12:38. And so now Lyon comes in. So this has been quite the off night for Sergei Bobrovsky, but it was certainly not the off night for the Vegas Golden Knights. They lead a commanding 4-0 as we take a break here on the Sports Empire Network presented by Geek.
Live from Las Vegas, the Snake Sports Talk Show with Jake Silva starts right now.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders, now we
just been working out for the Vegas Golden Knights, but now we've got reports that Radko Gudas will not be returning tonight. And so a 4-0 Golden Knights lead with 12:15 left to go here into the second period of play. And now Stone trying to get intervening, and now Florida trying to get offensive possession here, but can't seem to get it. Now here comes Barkov on a one-timer, and that's knocked away. And now Colin White in the middle of it. And now the Panthers are really pissed tonight. And now they got to wrestle one of them down. Boy, and Vegas, of course, when they get into that protection mode, now here's Anthony Duclair. And Duclair apparently seems to be shaken up. But here was, oh yeah, I think that definitely hit the ankle on Duclair. That was the one by Aaron Ekblad. Tried to get at least a slap shot there. But Aiden Hill getting the puck into his glove, and then a little poke check there by Colin White right on to Aiden Hill. Not trying to start something. But now it'll be a 4-on-4 with 2 minutes on this one and 12 left to go. But the Vegas Golden Knights really have been preparing against Sergei Bobrovsky, and they've been fighting up against them, finding every space possible. And so Ivan Barbashev there, 2 minutes for roughing. And, of course, Florida's got their other player there into the bench as well. And 2 minutes here on the 4-on-4 with 11:50 left to go. Here comes Vegas as Zach Whitecloud, he's met up by Sam Bennett, and he's hit right there on the board. And we got to get feed control once again. Lost the feed on it. See if we can get it back. Nope. Try the other one. Yeah, that one is never going to work anymore. And no, don't care for that. All right. All right. So 10:30 left to go. There's a shot, and that one's blocked up by Lyon. So time stalls. We're at 10:30. 10:30. 10:30 left to go here into this possession of the second period. 10:28, I should say. So Vegas really has been on fire all throughout this tonight. 63 face-off percentages won over 37, and Florida has just really kind of hit the brick wall the second they're playing the Golden Knights. And face-off draw is won by Florida as Verhaeghe around with Brandon Montour. Now here's Verhaeghe with Mark Stahl. Vegas outscored opponents 27-9 in the second period of the playoffs. So they've been lethal all throughout this thing. Now here's Eichel. 3 seconds left here on this 4-on-4, and now we're back to full strength. The shot in that one is away. So 16 shots on goal for Florida with 15 for Vegas. And now Alex Petrangelo's going right to the box. And we'll see what happened from there. Yeah, I think it might be a little bit of a check there on Verhaeghe. So Alex Petrangelo will head to the box, and Florida will have their power play. And once we are back, 10 minutes left to go into the period, you're watching the play-by-play stream of the Stanley Cup Final Game 2, Panthers Golden Knights, here on the Sports Empire Network, presented by SeatGeek.
Live from Las Vegas, the Snake Sports Talk Show with Jake Silva starts right now.
Well, this was Mark Stone here in May 2nd. He was a little bit shaken up, but up towards his rehab, and ever since he had been back, assist and 3 shots tonight, the captain has not missed a beat. So penalty now for interference for Alex Pietrangelo as Vegas is down a man. Florida on their second power play of the night, 6 shots during the power play. So hopefully offense can get going. And Barkov right up front, and that one will be caught by Aiden Hill. So Matthew Tkachuk trying to get involved here on the offense. And the offense has just been so dry for the Florida Panthers that they haven't gotten anything going. And Tkachuk frustrated, as most of the Panther players tonight. Minute and 39 into the power play for Florida. But Vegas has been really, really good on their penalty kills as of late throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. But they have been playing with a sense of urgency as now the offense for Florida gets going. Here's Barkov hitting the pass over to Montour. One time, that one's blocked away. And Barkov retrieves it. Goes back to Montour. Now to Barkov. Tries to get it on the corner and couldn't find it for Tkachuk. Now Reinhart. Right around for Sam Bennett. Brandon Montour tried to get a shot there. Now this one across. And now a one-timer, and that one is blocked as well. So Tkachuk let that one go as Montour tried to get that shot around, and he's got possession again. Barkov to Montour. Off to Reinhart. There's a shot, and that one is blocked away and heads over onto the side. So once again, the second power play for the Florida Panthers. Sam Bennett was roughed up right there, and now 40 seconds left in the power play for the Panthers. And unsuccessful thus far for the Panthers, and they are still looking for that opportunity in the one-timer, and they can't seem to get it. 30 seconds left to go and time winding down. Here is Verhaeghe, and that one is gloved up by Aiden Hill. And time stops at 8:22 left. What's going on, Robert? What's happening? Thank you so much for joining in, and we appreciate everybody who has joined in all tonight. Daniel Barry, East Coast Gridiron, Raymond, Key in the building, always in the building, Jonathan, Kyle, Avery, and Dustin and John Suggs. And, of course, Robert Lyle. Appreciate all of you guys for joining me here tonight. Like, subscribe, share, and follow us everywhere you get your podcasts. Forsling with possession for Florida. Time winding down, 10 seconds left to go in the power play. And now that's knocked away, and it's going to be killed off by the Golden Knights. Back to full strength again. And so they get their extra man, and now offsides as time is stopped. So they will meet back up onto the Florida end. 20 shots on goal for Florida and 15 for Vegas, but 4 of them are responsible against Florida. It gives the Golden Knights the 4-0 lead. And everybody all on this roster right now is just really kind of feeling the pressure that Vegas has just been putting on. And now up in the Vegas zone, Theodore met up with another Panther player, sticks that one away as they try to sneak it in through. Eric Stahl right up around. Up on the corner, Cousins tries to go and retrieve it, and now he's met up by Nick Waugh. And now possession for the Golden Knights, knocked down by Mark Stahl. Carrier up front and stops. And once again, the Florida bench continuing to get active here. Lomberg, who came in a couple possessions with Radko Gudas down and out. But you see Lomberg right here just roughed up by Hill and Theodore and almost trying to get it, but there wasn't even a call there on the cross check. And then once again, bounced up by Mark Stahl with Will Carrier up front in the middle corner. Now 2 minutes for roughing for Will Carrier, and now Florida back on the power play. So, yeah, Aiden Hill not shy at all of getting involved whenever he's pushed around or roughed up. On a 4-0 lead, 2 minutes into the power play now for the Florida Panthers after a roughing call on Will Carrier. Vegas down a man once again. 7:16 left to go into the second period of play, and it has certainly been 2 long periods altogether, and it's been all Vegas all tonight in game 2. Barkov right up on the middle. It's knocked away as Reinhart tried to get possession. Now Vegas will throw this one away and go right into the Florida side. Barkov with possession. Reinhart there with him as momentum. Kachuk goes right through, try to get possession, and now Montour gets the puck and tries to control it. Here's Bennett. Here's Ekblad. Now he tips away, and that one is going to go all the way back to the Florida end. Montour retrieves it from Lyon. And Sergei Bobrovsky's night is done after 4 goals given up, and Lyon comes in to relieve him. Now here's Montour. Shot and a glove save by Aiden Hill as he went down on his backside. And, man, did he feel that heater coming. Boy, Aiden Hill is just feeling it right now. Another big-time stop. And right from there, right in front of the net. And even if it's a little contested, Aiden Hill doesn't get afraid to put his glove up and stop the puck. Boy, the Panthers are just not penetrating through to the net at all. And Aiden Hill has just been on fire. He's just been seeing everything in front of him as Florida gets possession. Now a shot, and that one is blocked away. 45 seconds left on the power play for the Panthers. Coming around now for Hagee off, and that one off of Aaron Ekblad's stick, and he couldn't get possession of it, couldn't get control. Now Forsling up and around, up into the middle, and that one is knocked away and up top, and play will stop. But Aiden Hill, with his confidence and just how he has provided here for this Vegas roster, even in a year where Robin Lehner out for the season, Logan Thompson goes on a rookie tear, gets his all-star game nod, but Aiden Hill, his all-star nod is here in the postseason, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and here in the Stanley Cup final. What a story it is for this kid. Face-off draw is won by Vegas, and they will shoot this puck out and go all the way back to the opponent's side. Anton Forsling 15 seconds left to go into the period. This one shot around, and this one will go right to the corner. Time winding down quick, and Florida may be missing yet another opportunity. 0 for 3 on these power play units, and they have one shot in the last power play, and that was all that she wrote. And now back to full strength. Cousins right in front of a Golden Knight player, and he blocks it away and denied. Montour around for Cousins. Cousins skating through and dumps this one up into the corner and retrieved by the Golden Knights. Other one right down on the wall, and no icing as they wave it off. As Mark Stahl met up with Ivan Barbashev, and Marchessault tried to sneak in a pass there, couldn't connect. And Vegas back into the Florida zone. In the offense, here is Eichel. That one is snuck out and poked away by Lyon. And they tried again, and they couldn't get it. And now here's Cousins moving through. That one broken up by Vegas. And possession again for Eichel. Now going through center ice to the offensive zone. Here's Marchessault. That one is gloved up and blocked by Lyon. And Mark Stahl gets Barbashev down onto the ice. And so Jonathan Marchessault really tried to get something, but Lyon was heads up. It was a close play, 4-0 Golden Knights, taking another break here at 4:19 left into the second period. We'll be right back. Everything's been working for the Vegas Golden Knights thus far. And on a 4-0 lead with 4 minutes close to it left to go into the period with a 1-0 series lead in the Stanley Cup final as we're here. Game 2, 4-0 Vegas in Las Vegas. Boys, Sergei Bobrovsky an off night tonight. And now this one will be stopped by Lyon there, and play stops. Well, there was a lot of physical game here between the Golden Knights and the Florida Panthers, but Vegas answered back on all the force and physical play that Florida's been trying to put together, but instead it's been working against them. And in this period, 11 shots on goal, over 6. That's Florida on that end. 21 shots total, over 17. Now the face-off and the draw is a couple of Vegas players all right in the middle of it. And now Florida will have possession and get it cleared. Goes around up on the corner. Comes toward up on the Vegas zone, knocked down there. That is Casey Fitzgerald. And now Casey Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe can't get control, and Fitzgerald with possession again. So here's Brandon Montour. Another opportunity. That one's knocked away. And now here is Vegas with control on their own zone. Bounced out. Good move. As here's Stevenson. That one's knocked away. Tried to get at least an opportunity and couldn't convert. So Theodore get it to the center ice. And Stevenson right to Brett Howden. Howden met by Eric Stahl. And Brandon Montour as that puck squeezes out. Now Vegas with possession again. Theodore up and around as Stahl really tried to make a hit, but instead he misses. 3 minutes left to go into the period, and time will stop at 2:53. So Chandler Stevenson got a little excited, but beautiful movement all the way through and tried to get that shot, but it was wide left, right past, and there was Montour trying to shove him up, and grabs his helmet, and there was no call right up in the middle of it, and that's where Paul Maurice has really just been aggravated and frustrated are some of these missed calls. So second period continues to be physical. Florida winning the draw, and here comes Anthony Duclair. Tries to get it up and around and can't get it to Alexander Barkov, who was waiting for a one-timer against Aiden Hill. Unsuccessful there. Now Vegas clearing center ice and goes right to Florida's zone. Ekblad gets possession. Now is Duclair and Captain Alexander Barkov. That one bounced off the wall. Coming around on the boards. Barbashev met there by Anton Forsling. And now here's Duclair. Forsling tried to squeeze it through. No go. And Ekblad trying to get the shot, and it's blocked away. What an opportunity for Barkov, but it couldn't convert. Man, what a stop by Aiden Hill, and he saw it right there. And now there's a little bit of a fight going on. Time has stopped, and now we've got the captain as Jack Eichel looks like he'd been hit and roughed up there. And now Ekblad getting a hold of Barbashev, and now Pietrangelo and Forsling are going at it. Everybody is all just fighting around, and Matthew Tkachuk is there. Pietrangelo, who's got his neck wrapped around, and Ekblad, along with Barbashev. Barbashev's down on the ice. Not hurt, but he's certainly shaken up there. And Tkachuk again continuing to be that rat. And no go from there. But George McPhee and Bill Foley and Kelly McCrimmon, the gentleman who was responsible for building this franchise and this roster, as they see a lot of this rough-up stuff from Matthew Tkachuk. And this is no surprise at all for the Golden Knights, even at the times when playing against Calgary. But there was that big hit on Jack Eichel from Matthew Tkachuk, and this is where all the Golden Knights players all wrapped around and got Tkachuk. They saw it clear as day, and Eichel got roughed up big time, and he was looking for a call. You can see he's really just clocked. What's going on, Mike? Good to have you on, man. Thanks for joining us. But right there on that shoulder, oof. Yeah, that he tried to turn and avoid it, but it was just so quick, and it happened so fast. And again, the reaction, and as you see the line judge, as Tkachuk, who had just been holding Alex Pietrangelo, but he'd been saying, like, again, you do this again, you're gone. But remember, Matthew Tkachuk got tossed in the final 5 minutes of the period of game one in the third. So, and once again, it's just been continuous hit after continuous hit and physical play, and the Golden Knights know that they know exactly what they're up against, but Matthew Tkachuk, it's no surprise to them, especially in the Calgary days. And so we'll find out from the line judges here what seems to be the call from here, because there is certainly a lot of reviews, and now here we are. So the signal was the misconduct. And, yeah, this was the deal. So Eichel goes up. Tkachuk hits him. He's roughed up. That's misconduct all there from Tkachuk. And then the roughing, of course, from Ivan Barbashev and several other Golden Knights as well. It's still a 5-on-5 if you look into it. But still, that's uncalled for, and it's certainly a misconduct indeed. And Eichel, this is the other thing too, is Eichel had that neck surgery, and Matthew Tkachuk, with a smile on his face and just ruthless up from there. So Alex Pietrangelo in the box, Anton Forsling in the box, and so they're both serving their punishments. 2 minutes left to go in the second period. It's been the longest period, I think, that we've played along. And now an icing call as this one goes back to the Florida end. But, yeah, Paul Maurice, he literally talked about, breathing, but I don't think that breathing technique is really working for the Florida Panthers tonight, and not even at all in this series. They're down 4-0 with a 1-0 scoring on the series right now for the Vegas Golden Knights. They've been controlling their destiny and their composure, and now Vegas with possession. Puck goes right through into the middle, and Carlson, now he'll get possession. So still a 5-on-5, but just a couple guys in there for their punishment. Now a shot as Riley Smith gets it out at 87 miles an hour. Lyon makes the stop. But good Lord, it's just been really, really exciting, and it's just been energetic here in this game too. We know that this was going to be it was going to be much a physical series, but not one that we thought that we could see this here tonight. But everybody was just all on one tonight. I guess bouncing this one around, and now the puck will get loose, and here's Verhaeghe. And now here's Brandon Montour along with Sam Reinhart. Now that puck is bounced away and trying to get possession. Now time is stalled after an offsides as Brett Howden tried to get that out quick enough but couldn't do it. So Eichel a sideline here after that hit, but again, the concern is of course the neck, because remember the neck surgery, it's not fun, and that was one that could have cost Jack Eichel's career. But a big hit like that, I mean, it's unpredictable for stuff like this to happen. But the misconduct is what it is, and the Vegas Golden Knights, they're not shook up from it. 1 minute left to go. Keegan Colasar with possession. Here comes Waugh, that puck is blocked up by Brandon Montour. Markov getting possession, and now Montour up across as this one was deflected into the Florida bench. But you can just kind of see how gassed Florida really is right now. I don't know if there's really much into the tank for them right now, but they have been battle tested in just 2 games already. And there's not any way that you can possibly explain for this, but Golden Knights now getting possession in the offensive zone, and now Florida will get possession and try to take it the other way. Mark Stahl going around, wraps around, and the puck goes right through, and now Lomberg misses this one, and now the puck bouncing around in the corner. They're trying to get the shot through and couldn't get it. Now Lomberg again, and Aiden Hill with a big stop. And 16 seconds as Lomberg shoves Carlson there. And once again, Lomberg, who's been making his presence known, trying to get at least something through for Florida, but nothing goes through. But good offensive possessions here. Lomberg roughing it up, tries to wrap it around and get a shot through, but Aiden Hill, it went right off the shoulder and was able to glove it and protect it. And that just shows you, and Lomberg just kind of gave a little bit of a shove at the end of the play. 1 goal with 10 shots already in the playoffs thus far. So Lomberg trying to contribute any way he can on the bottom line. 13 shots for Florida, 7 here in this period. 16 seconds winding down as we come to a close here in the second period with a 4-0 Vegas Golden Knights lead. And Florida can't get it away, but Vegas has been so strong in this entirety of the 2 games. But the second period, and it was wild here, and that finally comes to an end, thank God, because that was a very entertaining second period, to say the least. But a lot to think about here as you see the Florida Panthers going back into the locker room. But Paul Maurice has a lot he really has to address to this team. But second period consisted of Brett Howden with the goal. And the Golden Knights extend their lead 4-0 here. Wow. I mean, I'm just as excited as all the Golden Knights fans are. And what's going on, Vanessa? Glad that you can join us. Glad for everybody to join us here in the play-by-play of Game 2 of the Florida Panthers and Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup Final, presented by SeatGeek here on Sports Empire Network. Appreciate all of you guys for joining us in. Well, it's like they kind of just address it like this, is that once you're out of gas and once you're kind of completely out of yourself mentally and physically, there's just really not much that you can even put together. So at this point, the Vegas Golden Knights know that they've controlled their destiny, they control their composure, and they really have just controlled every piece of just what has really been just the big story here for them moving forward. But my goodness, I could not have even seen this any other way, but that's just pretty bad. That's just pretty bad on Florida's end. They can't control themselves. They know for a fact that this is not one that they definitely want to, have happen, and it's unfortunate. So, the Golden Knights, they've had plenty of opportunities where, the team, they honestly have just controlled everything. They controlled every part of this game, and it is shown. It showed for every single reason. So, as much as we kind of, sit and talk about it, for sure, I mean, what can you do? I mean, that's ultimately what this is ultimately what you're going to get at the end of the day. So it's not like, they won't try to, at the very least, get something going for Florida's offense, but this is bad. This is just terrible opportunities that they've been giving themselves. They've been trying offensively. They could not convert on several different occasions. It really showed in this game. So, and mind you, this is the end of the second period. So watching this and seeing, as we take a look at the game center from here for the Panthers and Golden Knights, Panthers know that they've got nothing going for them, 4-0 with the Golden Knights lead, 23 shots on 18 for the Panthers. The Panthers have been playing more physical game than they have of just controlling, getting the offense going, and that's been a problem. And so, as we said before, the hits 30 on 14. They've been hitting more than they have been concentrating of scoring, in the game, and this has not worked for them. So this is now where you really have to control the composure, and you really have to show every part of this game as much as you possibly can, because this is just kind of ridiculous for Florida's end that they're looking like this. So what's going on, Coach Dante? Glad to have you on, buddy. So 7 takeaways over 50, from 15 that the Golden Knights know that they've led on, and 4 giveaways over the 8. But face-off wins have been 50-50 throughout it. But the power plays continue to be successful for the Golden Knights, 1 of 2. Florida 0 for 3 tonight on the power plays. Just not really much that you could see from this point forward. But looking at it again from that Jack Eichel hit, and, again, the misconduct that really shook things up. I don't blame the Golden Knights for even going after Matthew Tkachuk after that hit. That was a dirty hit. It was one that led to the misconduct, and Tkachuk has just been an issue. He hasn't really been like that contributor that Florida had initially seen in the beginning of this playoffs. And so to see that with the physical play, with 30 hits already on the Golden Knights, Eichel got hit on this one, and he got hit yet again. And, if you're trying to hurt this player, like, this is what it looks like from Matthew Tkachuk. It's like he's really trying to get under Jack Eichel's skin, but he's been roughed up twice now. Roughed up this point, and then roughed up the last point. And he knows he's shook up right there up on the neck, and Eichel just can feel it. And I mean, this is just kind of the hard part for Florida, because you know that this is not the kind of dirty play that you would want to be doing, but they're not concentrating at all of this game. And you still got 20 minutes left of hockey to play. So as this goes on, Eichel's trying to protect himself. Matthew Tkachuk just comes in and gets the misconduct hit, and the Vegas Golden Knights, they're retaliating. But from this point, it was just so dirty from this point on, and Eichel really just tried to protect himself because, again, that neck surgery he had was very risky. So if this is a point where Eichel, I'm sure he might end up sitting out the rest of this game, but we know the importance that Jack Eichel has been to this Golden Knights roster. But the last thing you want is a guy who's just got shook up that much and not be ready to go. But Sergei Bobrovsky, talk about a guy who really was shook up tonight. Alec Martinez, Nick Waugh, Jonathan Marchessault, the 4 goals that he gave up here in this game has just not been his night. And that last one, that was the icing on the cake, Brett Howden. Bobrovsky knows this was not something for him that, he was going to end up going through. So in round 1, 17 shots against him, and the save percentages had gone down, 891. Round 2, 10 shots, goals against, 943, 6 goals against from Carolina, and now 8 goals against Sergei Bobrovsky in the Stanley Cup final against the Vegas Golden Knights. This just has not been, the storyline that Panthers fans have been wanting to hear with Sergei Bobrovsky. This was clearly an off night. He's probably going to end up sitting the rest of this thing out and wait until Game 3 on Thursday to seeing exactly what really is in store for this team. So I think the Panthers really just have been gassed. Golden Knights have been very physical in every aspect. Offense has not slowed down, but you got to give credit to Adin Hill. He has really stopped every single puck that has been shot in front of him. It's a shutout currently going with 20 minutes left to go, and he's been poking the bear. He's been poking some of these guys. He's not afraid to stand on his own 2 feet, which makes him such a unique and yet a very strong player, even with them being a goaltender down. This has been really, really interesting. But real quickly, as you look, Verhaeghe and Casey Fitzgerald, they both ended up splitting away, which allowed Nick Waugh to come around right up onto the corner. So, yeah, this 2 split. They split away. They gave up on it, and then that's where Nick Waugh got the goal. And Casey Fitzgerald talking with his teammate, knowing the miscommunication because they had 2 guys on 1 player who had possession of the puck, and they turned away. They basically fled away like this, and that's what allowed Nick Waugh to really go and get the goal, the 3rd goal of the night, before Brett Howden ended up scoring the 4th. So defense, I believe, has been really atrocious for the Florida Panthers. Offense is not getting themselves going. They're shook. They're gassed. Not a whole lot of positives that you can really look for the Florida Panthers. And so this is one that Paul Maurice really needs to sit down, break down, and really has to get his team under control, because this is not a performance that you would want to see at all for Florida. And Panther fans are already feeling everything in front of them of what's just been happening, what's been going on. This is just not a good look. It's not a good look on either end. And so at this point, if you're Florida, you got to shake this one off. You really can't go into Game 3 knowing that you're going to be out there in South Beach where this is happening. So this is just kind of the big spot that the Florida Panthers know that they don't want to be in. They're shook up. It's just not good. Not really good at all. And on either ends. So yeah. Yeah, it's been pretty bad, to say the least. So but the Vegas Golden Knights, they're staying strong, 4-0 lead. Only about 20 minutes left to go into this game. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with the third period of play. You're watching the live stream play-by-play of the 2023 Stanley Cup Final Game 2, Panthers versus Golden Knights, here on the Sports Empire Network.
All right, folks. Well, we are back here for the third and final period of the Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. And now game is underway here into the third period onto the Vegas zone. As you saw, Matthew Tkachuk into the box. And now another shot, and they finally score. And this time it's Anton Lundell. And the Panthers finally get a goal with 19:46 left to go in the third period, and Adin Hill let that one go. So much for the shutout. Makes a good stop, try to make another play, and then Alec Martinez is kind of the misplay from there. And Anton Lundell and Anthony Duclair, that was right up in front of it, and now Matthew Tkachuk nodding his head and keeping his spirits up for his team. And now it is a 4-1 Golden Knights lead. So the Panthers finally get a goal against Adin Hill. Lyon back in at goal. And icing is waved here as the Golden Knights on their own zone. Move it through. Here comes Brandon Montour into the Florida zone as he'll reload. And right across and pass through center ice. Golden Knights trying to get possession and knock it away. Montour around with Sam Bennett. And Reinhart there. So Duclair with the assist for Anton Lundell. And now a shot, that one back through, and that's wide right. Trying to center the pass, and now the puck goes all the way back to the Florida zone. And that will be an icing. So this game has definitely gotten high intensity on, as you just couldn't imagine exactly, just that particular play itself, but it was unfortunate the Golden Knights give up a goal there, but Florida, they get themselves one as they're finally up and on the board. Howden, Stevenson, Stone, Hagen, Whitecloud all out there for the Golden Knights as we look at the shift time with a minute in. Ekblad tries to get it across and couldn't connect. Whitecloud up and around, and now here is Mark Stahl. Gets it over to Ekblad. Passes it over across and couldn't connect for Lundell. And now Barkov, it goes away, and Ekblad will get possession. Goes across on the board, and that one up and in the air and comes down. Duclair with possession, comes around on the corner. Now Ekblad will bring it back. And now Golden Knights have the possession. Jack Eichel tried to crash on in, and instead he was held up on the corner. And now here we go, a one-timer, scores! And it's Jonathan Marchessault again! And that is the way you avenge a given-up goal, and it's 5-1. Second goal of the night, and number 12 of the postseason. Boy, Jack Eichel was crashing in right here right from here, a little bit more of a physical spot as Will Carey, and then Jack Eichel came across, saw Jonathan Marchessault right across, and gets the goal for the Golden Knights to make it a 4-goal game again. And Lyon was not expecting that one at all from Jonathan Marchessault. And the Golden Knights at a 5-1 commanding lead, his second of the night, 12th of this postseason, and certainly Conn Smythe worthy for sure. And now an icing. 19 points since May 8th as he's been leading the franchise on. But this was it. Eichel came around and tried to crash on in the corner, and Will Carrier came in for some assistance. And right there, nobody even just daring to challenge Jonathan Marchessault to get that puck away, and he was all alone. Lyon not prepared and buries it all the way in the back of the net. So Florida, it's been uneasy on their end tonight. 25 shots on 19.
Golden Knights on a 4-goal lead again. And pushing the puck away, Anton Forsling coming around to retrieve it and goes to pass it, and now just forcing this one. This one goes right into the center ice. And whistle's blown. 16:59 is stalled here. And yeah, Paul Maurice just kind of knows what's happening from here. And now Verhaeghe is going into the box, and it looks like there's a penalty called. Vegas now has a power play. And so this, yet again, just continues to just go uneasy for the Panthers tonight. And so shame, of course, screamed across the whole arena. And a face-off here. 1 for 2 on the power play, and this is their third opportunity. Puck goes all the way back to the Vegas net. And Archiso with the 12th goal of the playoffs, and Eichel with the assist. So here come the Golden Knights. And the Panthers with a man down, and 16:39 left to go. So Jack Eichel coming back out, a little bit shook up, and there's Sergei Bobrovsky, whose night has ended already after giving up 4 goals, and Lyon out there at netminder. So Golden Knights with 1:30 here in this power play, controlling everything they can, at least for this game too, and could walk away out of home, going to South Beach with a 2-0 lead. But this is not the feeling you want to go back to South Beach on if you're the Panthers, because this is just in too much physical play, too many hits, too many penalties, and once again more penalty minutes. They haven't cut that down, and so the Golden Knights are just on cruise control. Here's Eichel with 1 minute left to go. Goes for Stevenson down low. Here's Eichel trying to look for a spot. Can't find it. There's a shot, and that one is away. Golden Knights still with the offensive possession. 80 miles an hour off the stick of Jack Eichel. It's possession again. Patiently working and looking for spots. And now here's Stone across. Almost connected on it and just misses right on the corner. But a good idea from Mark Stone. Mark Stahl. They're meeting with Jonathan Marchessault. Puck bounces, and now it clears out. 20 seconds left of the power play. So Lomberg goes back to the bench. And the Golden Knights, with 10 seconds left, as this power play may be killed off by Florida. And we'll see. Petrangelo there with Riley Smith. Here's a shot across. Almost there on that right side by Alec Martinez. And the power play is over. So back to full strength is Florida. That one's knocked away by Lyon on that shot. Keeps it on the offensive end, and now Lyon will stop the puck and stop the time. Boy, that was a bunch of those opportunities that the Golden Knights really tried to take advantage of. Alec Martinez right up on the middle, so close as William Karlsson was trying to go for that deflection. And it didn't bury in. So it changed a little of that direction. But Bruce Cassidy has been feeling really confident in his group tonight. And all the more reason that you can just see it. And Bruce Cassidy was definitely right on several occasions with as far as what Florida's been bringing to the table and what they've been unsuccessful for in only just 2 games of this series. Now more physical play as Keegan Colasar comes around up on the corner, and that one shot it wide. Florida on the offensive boards. Now Montour tries to get a shot. Couldn't connect. Vegas with possession. And they're going to push this out onto the center and now back into the Vegas zone. He's met up by Bennett and Verhaeghe kind of floating around there on the offensive end. And now Montour coming around. He's got possession, goes and can't get it around. Now here's Stone and Mark Stahl with Brett Howden crashing in. Now McNabb tries to slap it, and that one is off the shoulder of Lyon. 83 miles an hour there. And now missing off the stick of Stone, and they have to come back to clear it again. Another pass, and here we go. Past center ice is Shea Theodore. The puck goes by. Kind of cross stub, and now here we go. A one-timer, and can't get control as he loses his skate and falls back in Aiden Hill. Another one blocked off. And now Lyon goes to set it up as Casey Fitzgerald comes back to retrieve it. And Barkov now up to him again. He's got possession. The captain had been trying to get something going for this team as they've already got one goal against the Golden Knights. 13 minutes left to go into the third and final period. Petrangelo up and around the corner. Marchessault there with Barkov. And trying to send that one back. Here's Eichel. He's got it. Passes it over to Alec Martinez. He's got a goal tonight. Eichel shooting it, and that one gloved up and bodied up by Lyon as that ends it at 12:40. So the Stanley Cup has really produced a lot of big-time names and, of course, legendary teams and historic moments as we look at the Stanley Cup. And we take a break here with 12:40 left to go in the third and final period. You're watching Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Panthers, Golden Knights. Golden Knights leading 5-1 here on Sports Empire Network, presented by SeatGeek.
SeatGeek is the official sponsor of the Snake Sports Talk Show, with hundreds of events listed, live concerts, sporting events, and so much more. Go on to SeatGeek.com, enter promo code Snake Sports Talk Show, and save yourself $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek is the official sponsor.
I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Has been set on its sights for the Vegas Golden Knights as we are here with 12:30 left to go into the third and final period. And now up on the Vegas end, tries to shoot it in. That one blocked up by Lyon, and that one pounces away. Almost an open opportunity for the Golden Knights to score again. Martinez gets it, keeps it into the offensive zone. A good pass from Petrangelo as it bounced around. Now here's Carlson, shifting each side with Colin White there contesting him. Michael Amadio there. There's Martinez. Riley Smith there. Circles around and trying to get past Mark Stahl, and now the puck is squeezed out. Eric Stahl now going to get it into the Vegas zone and get the offense out there. Lomberg right up for Reinhardt. That one is blocked up by Aiden Hill. And now here come the Golden Knights storming and rushing in. Nick Wam has a good bouncer from Keegan Colasar. And that one tipped up. Brandon Montour up across. And Bennett As here comes Verhage, but he's met up, and now Nick Hague up with it, and now Waugh and Carrier go to clear it up. So this will change shifts. Montour right to Sam Reinhart, and that'll be offsides of the Vegas line. So another good play there by the Golden Knights, and almost by Michael Amadio to even score that goal on the corner. And another play, at least on the rebound, Carlson just kind of missed it just shy. But Michael Amadio, 3 goals and 7 points in 12 games he's played in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So a face-off here. And Vegas wins the draw cleanly. And now Pietrangelo, that goes all the way to the corner. No icing from there. And now Duclair getting it across and trying to get it a shot, and that one's tipped up wide. Now Duclair gets shoved down. And now Ekblad with possession. Looks like we got to get the stream back up again. Figures. Whew. Yeah, but it's been all-out physical game, but the Golden Knights are not shook by that. Not one bit. Of course, they got to refresh another video again. All right. Let's see. Hopefully we can get it back. I won't do it. No, I don't care about that. Let's see. Oh, yeah, they haven't. Okay, there we go. That's why I like doing Dofu sometimes. And so 10 minutes left to go into the period. A face-off here on the Vegas zone. And they are trying to wind this thing and just wrap this game up, as it's already just a commanding 5-1 lead for Vegas. And now Florida going to retrieve it. Bennett right up on the center ice, and here come the Panthers offensively. Tries to get a shot there and couldn't get it. 26 shots on goal over 23. That's the Panthers leading it, and now here we go. William Karlsson crashing on in with a shot, and they score, and it's Michael Amadio as he gets another goal in for the Golden Knights. 6-1, and the damage just continues to just unravel. And another one for the Knights. So Sam Reinhart just couldn't even make the play. William Karlsson crashing on in, and then a beautiful pass as Michael Amadio just kept that thing together. And another assist for Wild Bill. And Amadio, as soon as Lyon ended up leaving that spot on the net, another one in there, and the Golden Knights are just having too much fun as the house is winning in Vegas. And Panthers have not been playing their cards right tonight. 6-1. What a demolishing, and I don't think we've seen something like this ridiculous in the Stanley Cup final at all. Amadio with his 4th goal of the postseason, and Karlsson responsible for the assist. So in the Florida zone again, the puck has been in the Florida zone multiple times than it has being in the Vegas zone, and Florida with not much of life really left to go. 8:50 here in the 3rd period. Nick Hague. Hague back here with possession, and he will get this one cleared around. Around the boards, Forsling with Waugh there. And Eric Stahl And now Aaron Ekblad. It's a good pass over to Colin White as he's going around the corner as Nick Cousins going to try to help him. Now McNabb will go to retrieve it as it's up and about, and that will be out of play. So Vegas's night, as you saw, the great Clint Holmes, who ended up ringing the bell earlier. And man, what a night it has been for the Vegas Golden Knights. 8:14 left to go. And Florida's just basically throwing in this towel. But we'll be back as we are close to wrapping up the third and final period here in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Don't go anywhere. We got 20 viewers. Let's keep it going as we are close to victory here with Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. So back here in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final, Jack Eichel with the performance that he's been giving all throughout the playoffs. Eichel is bounced out. Here comes Ivan Barbashev now. 50-50 on face-offs. Now a shot off the face-off, and that one is wide. And Florida keeping it into the offensive zone. Colin White met up with Braden McNabb, and the Golden Knights getting the puck away. Here's Jonathan Marchessault skating on through and goes right back to the zone where they can retrieve it and get the puck away. Now cruising on through center ice. Here comes the Golden Knights and a pass over. That's knocked away. Marchessault goes to retrieve it. Here's Eichel. And another shot, and that's blocked away. That was Barbashev on the shot. And Lyon rejecting it. 7:35 left to go. Eichel gets it right over to Nick Hague. Golden Knights in full control tonight. Defense has been spectacular. The offense has been just everything amazing. And now that one back at rebound. And did it score? Yes, it did. And it's Matthew Tkachuk now with the score. And now it's 6-2 as Florida comes up with yet another goal. And really nothing to worry about from there. And Paul Maurice really trying to play a lot through it all. And, yep, he only had a few minutes from there, and Matthew Tkachuk gets the goal right from there. So he has another chirp from there. And Tkachuk is just continuing to just mouth off. And while his team is down 4 goals yet again. And who cares? Because at this point, look, I mean, you're not even in Florida right now. And Paul Maurice knows that. And seeing how this team really has been performing tonight. It was an atrocious performance. So this goal really doesn't matter at this point. Tkachuk, that is 22 points in the playoffs, second in the NHL. currently. So 7 minutes left to go. Pietrangelo tries to knock that one away, and now Lumberg trying to get a shot and a good block away by Aiden Hill. 10th goal of the playoffs for Matthew Tkachuk, and assisted by Sam Bennett. Now here's the Golden Knights with Chandler Stevenson going up around. And that one actually, yeah, there's still time that's going on, but this one just backed up. So Stevenson, who has been crashing on through the net, spins around, and he's hit. And now this one will be going all the way around in the Florida zone, and Florida with possession, they'll try to reload and get a new group out as Casey Fitzgerald goes up to it. Now Duclair all the way to Barkov, and now here is working the way in, and Barkov back in again as Carlson contests him. Now Tkachuk around, he comes back, and a shot, that one goes around and in the net, and did he stop it? That's the real question. Oh, he tried. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that went in. And now Tkachuk continuing to just chirp off and everything. They need to see if that puck went in. But officials will definitely take a look to see if it crossed the plane here. But once again, Matthew Tkachuk has just not stopped himself at all from just the performance that the team itself has just been putting in. It could be in. And as we're seeing now, Matthew Tkachuk once again has been sent back in to the locker room. So we'll see. And right there, that's what they're stopping it at. They're seeing if there was at least a little bit of some help, and it looks like that there was. So we'll see exactly what the call is as we take yet another break here on the play-by-play live stream. Stanley Cup Final, Game 2, 6-2, Golden Knights lead over the Florida Panthers. So we were seeing here with Matthew Tkachuk, there's the rat that was thrown. And he was sending a message to the Vegas Golden Knights. Yep, there it was. That was the last straw from. And now he's tossed in the second consecutive game already. So Tkachuk really just trying to send the message, but it doesn't make any sense with the team being down 6-2. 5:50 left to go. 30 shots on goals, over 25. Florida's still leading in that category. but have only strung out 2. Now crashing into the net, and that puck will get out. So a good save there by Lyon. And now Nick Cousins skating around. Tries to get it across. Montour with a shot. That one's wide left. And now Anton Forsling coming around. Goes past center ice. Gets it there to the Vegas zone, and they'll reload. And a good pass from Martinez to Stevenson. Now Martinez gets it back. Golden Knights and Panthers, Game 3. That'll be in Florida. That'll be at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. As the Golden Knights look to add to their series lead 2-0. There's been a strong case for them thus far with taking both games at home. Sam Bennett moving it around, and it's broken up. And the Golden Knights will get it back into the Florida zone with Aaron Ekblad getting it retrieved. That one goes back to Vegas zone. And another pass up in the cross. That's Nick Baugh. And he'll clear it into the Florida zone offensively. And gets it around the boards. Misses the puck. Now here we go again. And crashing in. That one is wide right. Looked like another opportunity for Florida, but a one-timer just misses. What a chance it would have been. Puck is heavily contested. Now they get it out. Lundberg gets it over to Mark Stahl, and he'll get it around where Aiden Hill gets it to Braden McNabb. And now a little commotion there. That is Casey Fitzgerald. But look at the difference. 41 hits from Florida over 22. And Keegan Colasar having a little choice of words there. And here it was. This was Mark Stahl, and that was the one that Colasar rips a stick out of his hands. And Casey Fitzgerald comes in, and Carrier trying to hold everybody back in Lomberg. It's just coincidental up to this point. And Paul Maurice, I'm just really surprised that Paul Maurice does not have a vein coming out of his forehead at this point with just the way that things have really escalated for the Florida Panthers. I'm just really surprised he hasn't gotten one. I'm sure at some point he probably will. Might come sooner than later, just before they head back to Florida. So we lost the stream again. As you know, it never fails. All right. Nope. Yeah, we'll get the stream back here for you folks. So close to being done with this game. And now Vegas is on a power play. And that'll be Verhaeghe, and that is the cross-checking. And the Florida officials right there on the front office present. So it's like another one. Now Eric Stahl has had enough of this shenanigans as now he goes into the locker room. He gets tossed. But this is just insanity. And, you know, I don't know what you think of this with just Paul Maurice. There's lack of accountability. There's lack of just, you know, really just kind of seeing what's going on with the players. Now another power play for the Golden Knights. And Carlson across in Lyon with a stop. A very impressive save, as that one was a one-timer from William Karlsson, as he could have put the nail in the coffin there. But a beautiful pass goes across, goes around, and Lyon knows Riley Smith was going to make that shot. That was Riley Smith on the opportunity, and just misses it. So 1:49 left to go in the third and final period. Karlsson 43% against Anton Lundell with 47%. As he's been the victor on these face-off draws. And now Vegas gets it cleared back into the zone, and we'll try again here on the power play. Minute and 35 left. And Martinez roughed up. Here's Forsling. Wraps it around the boards. Vegas keeps it in, but this one now goes to Aaron Ekblad, and Florida will clear it into the Vegas zone. 64 penalty minutes over 32. This is doubled what they put on in the last game. Minute and 5 left, 2:36 left to go in the third period. And Martinez gets it up on an inside. Mark Stahl. He'll clear this baby out. And now 50 seconds left to go. Petrangelo up and around. And Colin White trying to kill it. And now away goes Will Carrier with Michael Amadio. Here's a shot and another goal! Yes, it's Brett Howden with his second goal of the night. And it's 7-2. This is just atrocious and outrageous. It's just all been Vegas at this point. They've been slaying the Lion. They've been slaying Bobrovsky. I mean, you just need to throw in the towel in this one. Look at this. Will Carrier comes around, and a pass right to Michael Amadio, and Brett Howden buries it, and it bounced off somebody's stick, and that's where it went right between the wickets of Lion, and Vegas now 7-2 with 28 shots on goal. Paul Maurice could just look at this score and just have every single word of what he wants to say with this. And again, 5th goal of the playoffs for Brett Howden. And Amadio and Carrier with the assist. 2 minutes left to go. It's time to wrap this baby up. And the puck now heavily contested by Haig and company. And the Golden Knights will clear this one out, and now whistle blown with 1:45 left. So Paul Maurice just in such distraught and in such disbelief of this group. I know, Mike, it's this is insanity, dude. I cannot believe the performance that the team's put on. Face-off one here on the draw, and it goes right over to the Florida side. Mark Stahl up there to Sam Bennett. Coming across now, and here is Nick Cousins. He makes a shot, and that's knocked away and denied by Aiden Hill. They try to get the pass up and around. Cousins with possession. Circles around, and now caught by Aiden Hill. And once again, more pushing and shoving. So this has got to stop with Florida. You have got to stop it with this physical game. It's not working. It has never worked. And the Vegas Golden Knights are just getting to the best of them. And Nick Cousins, who's been in this organization, knows and understands this. This is not a team that can go completely out of their mind. And Will Carrier, and look, Nick Cousins, seriously, this is ridiculous. And Carrier's, he's just smirking. He doesn't care about whether or not he's just, you're going to check him or whatnot. It doesn't matter. Like, you can't. The goal, like, look at the score. It's 7-2. Why the hell are you still continuing to fight? And Bruce Cassidy is just really proud of this group of keeping the accountability, keeping their composure all together. And listen, Bruce Cassidy's been here before with Boston. Like, yeah. Someone called PETA. They need to report cat abuse. For real. It's just, this is just ridiculous now. It's getting out of hand, and it's just really getting old. Colin White coming around on the corner now. Lomberg, and as he loses his feet. And now close to a minute left to go. Chanting from the fans, we want the cup, and I don't blame them. I certainly do want to have a drink out of that cup itself. I really do. And you could taste it with 40 seconds left to go and is going to be taking a 2-0 series lead. The Golden Knights are not even going to try with this. Everybody standing up, cheering on their Vegas Golden Knights. And what an amazing performance it has been put on for the Vegas Golden Knights tonight in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Seconds winding down. Florida just throwing this puck around. And Aiden Hill. And now, oh, jeez. Will you just quit this? Now Brandon Montour and Riley Smith getting into it. So this is not, it is not ended at all yet tonight. So Sam Bennett, he's being held back, but once again, this is just absolutely ridiculous. And Riley Smith came up and around, and yep, a little cross check. I think this time it was up on Riley Smith and Brandon Montour, but Riley Smith sent the message there. If Matthew Tkachuk was sending the message of the rat, I guess Riley Smith was going to send the message back too. George McPhee and Kelly McCrimmon, the men in the front office who made this roster possible. And you know what they're thinking tonight. But this is completely different than the first-year group that, you know, when they went to the Stanley Cup Final in the first year, they got the first game against the Capitals, but they learned a lot, especially the longtime Vegas Golden Knights who's been here since year one. They learned a lot, and they brought together a lot of what this team, the adversities, the challenges. They've been to the conference finals 4 times and winning it twice, where they got to the Stanley Cup Final, and this is where they wanted to be. But the Florida Panthers not showing any sign of resilience for a lot of their play. And now a power play coming up with 2 minutes, but it's not really going to matter with 7.1 seconds left to go, if you ask me. And so it looks like it's only just the one call that came around. So 2 minutes left. 2 minutes in the power play with only 7 seconds. And just kill this thing, please. It's just ridiculous. And so the Vegas Golden Knights take away Game 2. And an unbelievable night, to say the least, as they win it. And credit more to Aiden Hill once again as the team finishes 7-2 against the Florida Panthers. There's the winning Flamingo out on the ice. A powerful performance from everybody on the Vegas end. Brett Howden had 2 goals, and there's the Stanley Cup stamp card. What's going on? Watch cricket. And what a finish. So the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the story continues for Aiden Hill as the Vegas Golden Knights go on to a 2-0 series lead. Game 3 will be on Thursday, and I will very much do Game 3 of the play-by-play as well as the team moves on to Florida. And the Vegas Golden Knights winning it 7-2. Whew, wow. I mean, you just had to hold on. Let me do this in style at least. I have to, because this is just a reminder to, you know, the Florida Panthers and Florida fans what exactly they're messing with, and especially with, you know, especially with Matthew Tkachuk. And that guy's a rat. But, wow. So, I had to put it up here. So, here it goes, folks, just for you guys. That is right. Vegas is up 2-0, folks. Wow. What an unbelievable night it has been for the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup final. Wow, what a masterful performance from everybody from top to bottom on all the lines, and Aiden Hill, whose story just continues. Oh wow, what a performance. What a performance on both ends. I mean, seriously, this was just, in the end, this was really embarrassing though for the this was just really embarrassing for the Florida Panthers. Honestly, I mean, I don't know how you really tally it, but altogether everything was just working on their own. And there was just no other way that you could explain this game. And how you really just, like, how do you even explain this game if you're honestly the Florida Panthers? Because this was just pure embarrassment on every part of this thing. And I don't think they even cared. Like, this has just been all out Vegas Golden Knights all the way through. And I mean, look, this is 330 of just pure dominance. But the Golden Knights get the job done. Sweet taste of victory. 2 more wins to go until they hoist Sir Stanley in the Stanley Cup. Boy, this was just a masterful performance all the way around. So, wrapping it up here on the post-game show. Wow, just a masterful performance all the way around for everybody who all just, showed off their stuff. The Vegas Golden Knights are victorious tonight. There were a lot of takeaways that were up and in this game. So let's wrap it up for everybody, of course, who had joined on in. So first and foremost, we're going to go through the entirety of the list. Daniel Berry, thank you so much for joining in. East Coast Gridiron, of course, who showed up. And Raymond Hirschberger, appreciate you, man. Key in the building. And then we go through Jonathan and Kyle Edwards, Avery, Dustin, John Suggs, Robert Lyle over at Philly Sports Talk, Mike Cronham, Vanessa Allison, and then, of course, Coach Dante, one of the best, and then, of course, Watch Cricket. Yep, so there you go. We appreciate everybody who has come in and joined in here on this live stream. What an absolute dominant performance from the Vegas Golden Knights. It's just been all Vegas at home. The home just clearly wins. The house wins all the time. When people come out here to gamble here in Vegas, you do understand and you do realize it doesn't work. Doesn't work for anybody that comes out of Vegas. Not exactly, the winning hands or any kind of superstitious secret. The house always wins. So, going through the scoring summary here in the first period for everybody just joining in, Jonathan Marchessault got the party started with the first goal of the game. Golden Knights up 1-0, and then Alec Martinez right up on the corner as play was almost about to, close up with 3 minutes left to go. Golden Knights walk in with a 2-0 lead in the first period, and of course, more of the physical play was still conducted from the Florida Panthers. And then the second period comes around. Nick Waugh comes in with his second goal of the postseason and makes it a 3-0 game. Brett Howden with his fourth goal of the postseason, first one of the night, and it's 4-0 Vegas early on. So, and then yet again, Matthew Tkachuk and big-time hits as, of course, the second period was just all-out physical play. Matthew Tkachuk, who was responsible for the big-time hit on Jack Eichel twice, which was just led to a misconduct. And, I mean, the Florida Panthers, they were not controlling themselves. They got out of hand. They had no resilience. Neither did they have any control of their players. So this was just clearly Vegas's night all the way around. Anton Lundell got the Panthers up on top. They got the Panthers their first goal of the night. So no shutout at all for Adin Hill, but that didn't seem to matter because Jonathan Marchessault, second goal of the night, 12th of the postseason. Michael Amadio checks in, 6-1 Vegas. Matthew Tkachuk gets the second goal in for the Panthers, and then Brett Howden with his second goal of the night as well. 7-2 Vegas wins. 3 stars of the game, of course, tonight. So Brett Howden with his 2 goals. Ivan Barbashev, who has been big on the assists, and then Jonathan Marchessault with 2 goals himself. So looking at the game stats before we wrap everything up, 31 shots on goal, over 28 for the Florida Panthers. Face-offs have been 51.5%, over 48 for the Vegas Golden Knights. They've been successful on 2 of the 4 power plays as well, while a complete sweep of power plays for the Florida Panthers could not score 1. Penalty minutes, the Panthers had at least 84 penalty minutes, then the Golden Knights with 56, which never seemed to care for the Golden Knights at all. They kept everybody's composure all there, but 84 penalty minutes, that's unacceptable, and that is one thing that Paul Maurice knows he needs to address. 44 hits over 24, and that's just the story. Florida's just been focused more on the hits and the physical game rather than they did of score goals, get offensive opportunities, get something there for Florida to at the very least, make this an interesting series. Now it's just all Vegas up to this point. 20 blocks over 11. The Golden Knights have been so successful defensively, blocking shots, 6 giveaways, less amount than what the Golden Knights have given up, and 22 takeaways. They've been taking it away from Florida, contesting them, blocking them up on the corners, and just squeezing the puck out. And so this is what has been the biggest story for the Vegas Golden Knights. I think this is probably one of the most dominant performances that we've seen from the Golden Knights in their franchise history, but I think more of a masterful performance in the Stanley Cup final all the way together. But this is just bad. This was just bad on the Florida Panthers. Golden Knights get control. They win this game and they command it big time as they go on to win, and they have a 2-0 lead here in the series. So 2 more left to go for the Vegas Golden Knights. They'll be on the road down to South Beach in Game 3. That is on Thursday. I'll definitely be doing play-by-play on that game as well for Game 3 on the road. But I'm certainly going to be making my face and my way into the Fortress, hopefully, when they have the watch party, of course, hopefully up in T-Mobile Arena. That would be amazing, and it would be a fun time to be there and to be celebrating possibility of hoisting the Stanley Cup at some point. So I'm really excited for it. Game 3, I will be there for play-by-play reactions on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. That is what the time will be. And that is where we will be at for the play-by-plays. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate all of your guys' love and support, and thank you so much for at least hanging out with me for what seemed to be just an outrageous game all the way together. But the Golden Knights, they got the job done. 2 more left to go. 2-0 series. The Golden Knights lead. Once again, the final score, 7-2. Golden Knights win over the Florida Panthers. Appreciate everybody who had joined in. This is Jake the Snake Silva signing off. Here's the place where you can find me for everything, all sports and all entertainment here.
Live from Las Vegas, the Snake Sports Talk Show with Jake Silva starts right now.
And so that's going to do it for us here on the airing of the Stanley Cup Final Game 2, live stream play-by-play, Panthers, Golden Knights on Sports Empire Network, presented by SeatGeek. Game 3, Thursday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. You don't want to miss it. We will be back here on the Sports Empire Network streaming the game and live play-by-play reactions. This is Jake the Snake signing off here. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you in Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Panthers, Golden Knights. Once again, Golden Knights win a commanding 7-2 lead going into Game 3 in South Beach. See you soon, guys.